What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's your boy Noname back at it again with another New York Giants video. This time another Deandre Baker centered video. And before we get into it, last night I had basically my first ever Giants centric live stream. I've been doing, a couple of live streams. Excuse me, I just belched. I've been doing a couple of live streams where I've been playing Halo and talking with the audience, Giants or anything. Last night, however, was the first Giants-centric one. I had Kid Blue on as a guest. We had a great time. We had a lot more people in there than I expected, and I thank each and every one of you for tuning in. All of you guys that super chat, I thank you guys so much. You should go check out the replay of that. We had a fun time. We talked Giants, and there was also a little bit of smack talk between me and Kid Blue, setting up a possible, future match of Madden between the two of us. So go check that out. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get into today's topic of Deandre Baker. And first things first, before I get into this, I just want to say, the more and more I hear about Baker's story, and it could very well be, I'll preface everything that I will address in this video by saying his defense attorney could probably just be a really good defense attorney, and he is being paid to say what he's currently saying and do what he's currently doing. I'll preface it by saying that. But the more and more I hear about this Deandre Baker story, the more and more I want him to be innocent. And I just want to say, on behalf of the Giants community, Deandre, I believe I did not persecute the guy, because when I heard about it, I did say if he did it, he's a dumbass and he should go to jail. But I also very hardly, it was very difficult for me, but I tried to stay on the fence as much as possible, because I'm like, things like this happen with people that are in the higher class of society, that are a bit more famous than the average person and have a lot more money than them. Things like this happen, so let's wait for the whole story. And I want to apologize to Deandre on the behalf of the Giants community, because most of us as a whole, we did kind of persecute the kid when the charges came out on Thursday. We did say it was a stupid move and all that, but we didn't wait for the facts. And I want to say that when you hear more and more in the story, it makes a little bit more sense. And I've seen people clowning the latest that came out on it, when I'm about to talk about how Baker was playing Madden when hell broke loose in the house. I've seen people clowning this on Twitter, making memes about this. All it shows to me is that they're not part of this current generation of younger guys. Like, Deandre is in my generation. He's only 2 years older than me, right? And while I get that he's a grown man, and respectfully, I'm going to refer to him as a grown man now, because I am aware of, the weight behind calling him that versus calling him a kid or a boy as a young black NFL player. I am aware of that, so I will refer to him as a grown man now. While he is that, he's still very young. And the fact remains that if this is true, that he did do the robbery and the assault, his life is over. There's no coming back from that. So I want him to be innocent. He's still very young in his life and has really the rest of it to live out. So I do want this to play out in Deandre's favor, right? But and speaking of that generational thing with him being just 2 years older than me, I understand how the Madden situation could be looked at as a joke of a defense for somebody to use to defend this guy that has so many charges against him, and in such what is really a higher profile case than most people would think. When I read it to you, this is something that guys like me would do, at our age. Like, I've gone to parties where I carried over my Xbox or carried over my Madden CD. I've had parties where my friends bring over theirs, and I've had parties where they bring over their PlayStation, because I don't have a PlayStation, so we could play God of War or something like that. It happens. This is not something that's out of the blue, or it's not something that's crazy that never happens. This is something that is completely believable from my standpoint, because I've done it before and I've seen it happen before. Hey guys, this is just a little anecdote I'm throwing in post-editing, a fun little story, kind of showing how people, kids my age, and I refer to myself as a kid because I'm still pretty young, do what the Deandre's lawyer is claiming that he did, right? So like 2 years ago for my 18th birthday, which was like the first time I was allowed to have a major type of party / get together with my friends. So 2 years ago, this was before I had my own console. I didn't have my own console until about a year ago, when I saved up my money, got myself an Xbox One. Now before that, I've played, consoles at my friends and family's houses and whatnot, but this was the first one that I actually owned. But that's not the point here. So 2 years ago, my 18th birthday party, when I invited my friends over, they know that I didn't really have a console, right? So they were like, all right, bro, no problem, no sweat. We're still going to figure out a way to have fun. one of my friends, Yame, for those of you that watched my Super Bowl video that I put up, which was a video of me and basically everybody in that vid was at my 18th birthday party. CC, Farhan, we got Nabil and stuff like that. They were all there. Yame brought over like 4 controllers for his PlayStation and his PlayStation console itself so that we could all play on that. It was the PS4. And another one of my friends, I think, brought over their Wii U. I can't remember. I don't think it was a Switch because the Switch didn't come out at that time. One of the Nintendo ones. And the point is basically that these dudes brought over in their backpacks the whole console, the controllers, the whole shebang so that we could have some fun. And I'm like, this is something that happens and it is a believable story, you know? So I just want to add that in there. With that being said, you guys are probably confused because I didn't actually read the stuff from the article yet. But once again, from the post, and basically what it's talking about is that the newest piece of evidence that the defense has come up with in Deandre's favor is that he was not even involved in the whole situation because it happened in another room. Baker only caught a glimpse of it because it happened in one room. Deandre was in the living room with the TV playing Madden. And of course, once again, I can kind of see how people would think this is ridiculous. You're using a video game in your defense, but with this particular video game, and since he was playing it, I believe, on Xbox, well, it wasn't on Xbox. I think I'm maybe filtering my own console in there. The article just refers to it as a Madden console that Deandre arrived at the party carrying his Madden console, 2 controllers, and a charger, went into the house, hooked up the game to the big screen TV, and played the video game for an hour to an hour and a half while he was there. Baker left the game at the house. He said he will try to get electronic proof of that Baker was logged in and playing Madden that night, which shouldn't be too hard. If he did do this, right? All you gotta do, I'm sure, I don't know, maybe contact Sony or Microsoft, whichever console was, see if he was logged into his Xbox or PlayStation profile, and then also cross-reference it by just going in, contacting, the Madden people, get access to the Madden server somehow and get the fact that he was logged into his Madden profile, into the time slot that Baker's lawyer claims he was logged into it. And if, both of those things come up as true, if he was logged into his console's account, like at the time of the robbery, and if he was logged into the Madden account at the time of the robbery, and they have, it's saying that he was there for like 2 hours or something, this is something that could break the case wide open potentially, and honestly save Baker's career if it's true. So I don't really get why people are clowning it. I can see how maybe I can see how maybe some people could think it's ridiculous that a video game is the best defense they have right now, but it's honestly a very smart thing to consider and to do because there's electronic proof of it. And once again, this just backs up the fact of what we've all been saying, whether he's innocent or not. We were like, if he did it, it's a very stupid decision to both gamble the amount of money that you gambled and then go back and try to rob the people for it, right? So this is another thing that the lawyer addresses. I'm going to continue reading his quotes here. He says, and this ruckus blows out in another room in this house. He doesn't have anything to do with the ruckus. He didn't even see it. The only thing he sees is out of the corner of his eye, a table getting flipped over and everybody running, screaming, and yelling. And he's out. Thank God he bounced. The lawyer is also trying to debunk another thing about the case. Well, of course, he's going to try and debunk everything that he can to save his client's, butt and whatnot. But another thing that came up was that Deandre apparently had a getaway car set up for a nice and quick getaway to get out of the scene once he took everybody's watches and money. Apparently, the lawyer has video evidence showing that Deandre was in his car, parked at a normal position, and waited in a line to get out of a gated community, because this apparently happened in a gated community security complex, and that's no quick getaway no matter how fast you drive to try and get through the gates and whatnot. So Deandre was waiting in line with that car, and according to the timestamp on that video, his lawyer claims that it would take at least 2 hours before the police phone calls happened. And he brings up a good point there. This is another quote. You're robbed at armed gunpoint and you're gonna wait 2 hours to call the police? It's a shame the kid's life is ruined at this point in time and he's got to fight his way out of this, but it just gets worse and worse and worse. The whole story is disgusting. Now, I will say, if I'm robbed at gunpoint, I'm not gonna wait 2 hours. I'm probably gonna wait for the people to get out of the house so that they don't shoot me or something while I'm on the phone with the police. But it's not gonna take 2 hours for you to call the cops and tell them what happens. And once again, this is something that I suggested that is very, it's a very real possibility that it happened, which Patel, Deandre's lawyer, is trying to build the case off of, is that he was targeted because he's an NFL player. He's a young NFL player who admittedly put himself in this bad position. There's a reason Patel says he was scared straight after his 2 nights in jail. Deandre did put himself in this bad situation with bad people around him, and so he was an easy target to try and exploit and get money out of. That was the thing I suggested, and it seems to be what his defense lawyer is building the case off of. And I'll tell you right now, with the evidence they're putting forward, it seems as if that's the story that might officially happen, you know what I mean? We'll never know what actually went down. But with all the evidence they're putting forward, the Madden thing, if it comes through, the sworn statements, which, by the way, in addition to the 7 sworn statements I talked about in the last vid, that, you know, 7 witnesses came forward and made sworn statements saying that Deandre did not rob them, did not hold them at gunpoint. 3 separate people came forward again today, which makes it a total of 10 sworn statements in Deandre's favor. It's looking more and more like an impenetrable wall of evidence supporting Deandre Baker and his side of the story. And honestly, while I am more inclined to believe that, I am more inclined to believe the dude was there to hang out, you know, play Madden, not gamble away his money, not make a stupid decision and rob people or hold them at gunpoint, than I am to believe that he did make those decisions. Yes, there were character concerns. Like I said, he put himself in this situation with the, you know, the bad people surrounding him, but he's still a young guy. You know, he's not like deep into a gang or anything. He's still a young guy making this decision. So it's more believable for me to say that dude was there to have some fun, admittedly in the wrong crowd. Well, you got more and more people stepping forward, whether they step forward because they wanted to or there's some coercion going on behind the scenes. It's just looking like Deandre Baker is going to come through free and innocent of this, and I want that to happen because I want him to, you know, have his second chance at life and whatnot and make it straight, make it good. And also for the Giants, we get our cornerback back, essentially, you know what I mean? This video was kind of all over the place, y'all, but my thoughts are kind of jumbled on the situation. I hope it was still structured in a way that you could understand what I'm trying to put across here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Smash that like button, hit the subscribe button. Put in the comments what you think about the whole Baker situation with this new evidence and whatnot. And make sure you play Madden when you go to a party so you got some evidence for you. I'm out. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Put your comments down below. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Until next time, I'm out. Yeah.